Good morning. This is the Eastern Idaho planning briefing for Thursday, May 21st. Thank you for joining us. As far as the weather impacts here for the next few days, we do have some light snow across the mountains this morning, generally above 6,000 feet or so. Those snow levels will rise 1,000 to 1,500 feet this afternoon to around 7,000 to 8,500 feet. That snow level will drop as we get into the evening tomorrow across the central Idaho mountains before rising once again Friday afternoon. Those snow showers and thunderstorms will continue for the eastern and southeastern highlands as we get into the day Saturday. Across the lower elevations, just expecting rain here for the next few days with some occasional thunderstorms. Temperatures will remain cool for the next couple of days before we gradually start to warm back up. Taking a look at the satellite view from across the western United States, we can see this large low pressure feature which has been streaming cloud cover and precip to the area for the past few days and will continue to do so for a couple of more days. Looking at the weather impacts, as I've said, we do have the next 3 days here where we are going to deal with precip chances as well as cloud cover before things really start to dry out and warm up as we get into Sunday and beyond. As far as high temperatures are concerned today, generally expecting lower 60s across the Snake Plain and into the Magic Valley. Cooler temperatures as you get into those higher elevations. We will see those temperatures drop about 10 degrees as we get into the day tomorrow as our next storm system comes in, bringing additional cloud cover and rain and snow to the higher elevations. And then as we get into Saturday, we will gradually start that warming trend, albeit very slowly for a couple of days before temps really start to warm up as we get into early next week. As far as lows are concerned, really no concerns for Friday morning. However, as we get into Saturday morning, we will have threat for some sub-freezing temperatures across some of the growing zones, as well as the potential for some frost. So we do have the potential for some frost and or freeze advisories or warnings as we get into the Saturday morning time frame. Those temperatures will warm back up a couple of degrees as we get into Sunday morning. Still going to be cool, but as we get into the early part of next week, those low temperatures start to climb back up. As far as snow is concerned, it's very limited across the area this morning, generally above 7,000 feet, and that will continue as we get into the afternoon. However, as we get into the evening hours, those snow levels will drop, and this next storm system will move in from the northwest, so we do have the potential for some accumulating snow across the higher terrain. But as we get into the early morning hours on Friday, it's not out of the question that some accumulating snowfall does occur over the Stanley Basin and perhaps even down into Sun Valley. We could see some snow, but accumulation should be pretty light if that does take place, but it's certainly not out of the question. But then as we get in through the day tomorrow, that snow will be limited to the higher terrain. Until we get into the early morning hours on Saturday, we do have the potential for 1 to perhaps 2 inches across the Island Park area, as well as over to Driggs. Even in portions of the upper Snake Plain, perhaps even down as far south as Pocatello, not out of the question that we see a few snowflakes perhaps mixed in with some lingering rain showers, but no accumulations are expected. But some snowflakes are certainly not out of the question. And then as the day progresses Saturday, those snow levels will start to climb back up as we warm up, and should limit any additional snowfall to the higher terrain across the eastern highlands. As far as between now and tomorrow, generally 1 to as much as 4 inches with those higher totals well above 8,000 feet. Same as we get into the day tomorrow, all those higher accumulations will be limited to the highest terrain. But as we get into that Saturday time period, we do have that 1 to 2 inch potential across the eastern highlands. As far as winds are concerned, it will be a little breezy today. We do have a lake wind advisory out for the American Falls Reservoir and we are expecting winds to be gusty from pretty much from around daybreak into the late evening hours. Generally after about 6 p.m. these winds will start to die down based off the various high-resolution models, but it will be breezy across the Arco Desert over by INL and up into Idaho Falls, and even across Pocatello and American Falls as well today. But nothing too extreme. Generally expecting gusts to remain below 30 miles per hour or so, but we will have some potential for some isolated blowing dust in spots, but not expecting a widespread blowing dust event. It will remain breezy as we get into the day tomorrow as well, although perhaps a little bit less than what we saw today, and maybe more focused across portions of the Magic Valley. As far as the weather impacts go, though, basically we're going to have some continued unsettled weather for a few more days, with the rain across the lower elevations and snow potential generally 6,000 feet and higher here for the next few days. We do have that isolated thunderstorm potential as well, with some gusty winds and small hail possible with any thunderstorms that do occur. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. And thanks for joining us, and have a great day.